Welcome to Road to Billions podcast, the mentality of an entrepreneur. With your host, Moise Bertrand.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your host, Moise Bertrand, the Road to Billions podcast. It's been an amazing journey, you guys, and I want to say thank you to everybody who's been listening, tuning in, of course, subscribing, and just showing love to the podcast over these years. You know, we've been over 100 episodes in. My voice does make a change because the streams go up. I do have different subscribers, and it's just an amazing experience. You know what I'm saying? Just to have people who listen in, who tune in, who rewind, who play, who forward, who just listens to the whole thing. So I just want to say to the bottom of my heart, you guys, I want to say thank you so much for everything. My biggest thing to you guys is to have faith. You know what I'm saying? Unwavering faith. And if you guys ever had a chance to listen to Think and Grow Rich or read the book Think and Grow Rich, it tells you about unwavering faith. That's one of the 13 or 12 principles, I believe, in order to successfully manifest and bend your reality. You know what I'm saying? It's a quantum physics. So a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, when they get into real estate, their biggest thing is, how am I going to rent this house out? How am I going to make money? They're always asking about the how. And that's good to ask. But you don't want to get caught in the limbo of that same question. You know what I'm saying? At that point, it's a rhetorical question. You ask it, you make your mind up about it, and you go forward with the plan. Plans don't typically go how you plan them to go. You know what I'm saying? And even though we may want plans to be the best, the most polished, the most sought after and seamless process that we come up with to get us to the finish line, there are going to be a couple hiccups and obstacles and bumps on the road. You know what I'm saying? And it's only up to you to weather that storm, to get through it. And you're only going to get through it through faith. You get what I'm saying? You know, I know a lot of people, they want to buy their first house, or they want to flip their first house, or they want to just get a little taste of real estate. And my biggest question to you is why? You get what I'm saying? I understand my why. I know what I want to do with it. I understand the riches that I have accumulated. I understand the person I have become. I understand the lifestyle I created for myself. But what's your why? My why was just big on independence, big on servicing others, helping those around me become better, be able to accomplish to get those around me to buy their first home. Because as you guys know, it's hard to buy a home, let alone not even making enough to buy a first home. You're already disqualified. So that was my biggest thing, servicing others and giving back to the community while still building my independence independently. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have your why, and you got to stick with it. You can't let nobody move it out the way. You can't let nobody tempt you into other careers. You can't let nobody tempt you off the path that you have created or even imagined for yourself, because that's where faith comes in at. When things are going completely opposite of what you planned them for to be, what are you going to do? Are you just going to say, fuck it? Or are you going to say, yeah, whatever, it's not working out? Or are you going to get back on your high horse and ride it out? You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, what they figure out later down in life is no one really gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own problems. People going to talk about you. People going to focus on you for a little bit. Back in the day, people not sitting back thinking about you. And if they are, I feel like that's obsession, and that's completely weird. But for the most part, people, you know, maybe talk crazy about you, and you might look embarrassed for a quick second. But after time goes on, like, shit just is forgot about. You know what I'm saying? People just say, fuck it. So I don't look at it like, oh, this and that. I look at it like how you are working towards a problem, how problems come towards you, and how you deal with it. Stress. You know what I'm saying? We have something relative to boxing when someone is coming towards you, a pressure fighter, right? In other words, they say they walking you down. You know, if you're on your back foot walking towards the walking towards the ropes or the corner, you know, they're pretty much saying that person is walking you down. You're on defense. And you don't want to be on defense most of the time, sometimes in life, because it takes a lot of energy. Sometimes you got to go ahead and just attack. You know what I'm saying? You got to get in there, get dirty with it too. You know what I'm saying? Get your hands dirty. And a lot of people don't want to get their hands dirty. They're comfortable playing defense. They're comfortable letting things try to come to them. Things will come to you. But just like opportunity, it just knocks and it comes like a thief in the night. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't witness it, if you don't see it for what it is, you're already done. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like, oh, you didn't notice me. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? You had a couple openings in to do a job, or you had a couple of real estate properties to buy, and you had the money at the time, but you had an unwavering faith to believe you couldn't do it on your own, or it wasn't going to work out anyways. So you just said, fuck it. Right? And what I believe happens with most people is they get lost in the sauce, right? You have to go through many trials and errors and problems and obstacles in order to successfully do things right. Repetition. And in those obstacles and those problems is where you find grace, is where you find wisdom, is where you find the lessons, is where you become a better person. Like me as a person, some people could say I'm fucked up, and some people could say I'm the nicest person. I'm amazing. But I don't really go off what people say who I am. I know who I am deep down inside. So you're never going to have people who are going to fully support you. You're going to have people who might just throw eggs at you. You know what I'm saying? They have something called hecklers when you're at a comedian show or a comedy show, or even at a fucking rapper's concert. You know, he always have to have security, not because for the women and stuff like that, but it's also people who may not want to see him in their city, you know what I'm saying, or her city. And it's sad. It's sad to see these things. And I'm not going to say it's only black people heckling black people. You have all type of hecklers, all type of cultures and ethnicities heckling each other, you know what I'm saying? Or even heckling even opposite sex sometimes, which is kind of crazy how life is all about like who has the bigger ups, and it's crazy. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is, in order to get to your top, in order to get to the peak of your existence, of your success, you have to have unwavering faith. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, y'all gonna see me on a 60-foot yacht in Monaco, smoking a cigar with a Rolex on my left hand. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn, I already got the look, so it's already here. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm making podcast episodes from different parts of the country because I want to capture that moment when I was in that moment making the podcast. Like I made a podcast in Aruba, and sadly I was in Mexico, and I was supposed to make a podcast in Panama and all these other places, Jamaica, and I didn't make these podcast episodes, right? I was too focused on just wanting to just experience the moment, and I realized the moment can also be captured through audio, and which is why I made that podcast in Aruba. And when I listen to that podcast, it takes me back. You know what I'm saying? So I know the unwavering faith is there. You create that person you are through repetition. When I used to talk about having my own apartment, when I used to talk about real estate in my first early episodes, I didn't know how I was going to do in real estate. I didn't know how much houses I was going to be able to accumulate, or how much money I was going to be able to make, or how many LLCs I was going to create, or how many partners and investors I was going to be able to partner up with. It just happened, you know what I'm saying, through the repetition, through the persistence, through the unwavering faith. And I tell people, you got to be able to work through the fucked up shit. There's going to be a lot of fucked up shit that's going to happen. Your girl might start doing bullshit. Your job and boss might start doing some bullshit. Your car might start being, some fuck shit. You may not start having the type of lifestyle you envisioned yourself having at a certain age or at a certain time, but that doesn't mean it's not coming. You know what I'm saying? I stick by something by my heart, bro. Mark 11, verse 24. I have it on my whiteboard, with all my projections, with all my, manifestations, with the things I already see myself working on. And I pretty much said this, you know what I'm saying? When I have it on there, I read it out loud every day. I read it when I'm sitting down on my computer. I read it when I glance over. I read it when I'm going to bed. And, if you guys don't know what Mark 11, verse 24 says, it says, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe you have received it and it will be yours. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have a certain level of delusion in order to be accomplished in your manifestations, in your imagination. You know what I'm saying? In order to bend that imagination into your reality, you have to leap into that energy. You have to leap into the knowing, you know what I'm saying, that you're going to already make it. You can't be like, damn, I don't know, fuck. Like, you rubbing your head all day. You keep telling yourself this shit. You overthinking now is going to create a tumbleweed effect of bullshit happening. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get into that, because that's what your mind would play tricks on you. You know what I'm saying? Your mind will definitely play tricks on you. And for some reason, the mind only is better. The mind is really fucked up because it's not fucked up, but at the same time, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, your mind will only focus on the negatives. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy, because the negatives will override everything good in your life if you start thinking about Boom, one slight thing. Damn, you know what? Fuck. And then it ruins your whole day. That one negative could ruin your whole day. And it takes a lot more energy to be positive. You know what I'm saying? As you guys could really relate to it. You guys could be real. Like if you guys think about something that happened in your past that really vexed you or really made you mad and you think about it, that could really mess your day up for the remaining of the day. A bad haircut, a bad hairdo, you losing money or this and this and that could really ruin your day if you let it override you. So that's the reason I tell people, don't let things take advantage of you. Don't let things throw you out of orbit, because you have to understand that with faith, everything works out. You know what I'm saying? So when I speak to you guys, I speak from the knowing that this podcast is going to be discovered by those who want to accelerate their life. It's going to fall upon the right ears, the right hearts, the right countries, the right states, the right cities. You know what I'm saying? It's going to fall upon these people. And they're going to realize, damn, I could do what bro's saying. You know what I'm saying? Bro is really telling me the truth. Like, I don't have to feel bad about the L's I took. I don't have to feel bad about where I'm at in life right now, because it's people right now who's 40, 50 years old and they still don't have it figured out. Bro, you're 20 years old, bro. I know we have a lifestyle where if you don't have it figured out by a certain age, they will consider you a failure. But I'm telling you guys, man, that shit don't mean shit. Because at the end of the day, people who you would consider as a success in their early years of life, they usually fall off sometimes. Not because it happens, but because they're so used to that comfortability, they don't understand that when you get out the mud, it lasts longer. You know what I'm saying? You could feel it. You could feel the journey. You understand the wisdom that was there. And that doesn't take away from anybody who got successful in the early years. I'm just talking about sometimes people just fall off because the comfortability of life, they're no longer challenging themselves. You know what I'm saying? They probably had a great business run, and then all of a sudden, they stop working hard in their business because it's doing really well, and then it falls back into normalcy and complacency, and then boom, they fall off, and that happens. Or people may not be as enthusiastic to be working that same job. You know what I'm saying? So that falls into their family life and their personal life. They're depressed, they're drinking, they have student loans, they have they have all this shit because they didn't understand. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to figure out who you are out in order to become a successful person, to become the happiest. You can't become the happiest or the most successful if you haven't unlocked all of yourself, right? You know yourself. At this age, I believe everybody has a woke mind and a third mind for the most part. I believe so. It's still some people who are walking around brain rotted, you know what I'm saying, fried. So they're not listening to this podcast, is what I'm telling you guys. But for you guys who listen to this podcast, you have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a purpose. Some people just are oblivious to it. They don't care about it no more. But if you have a purpose, follow it, because that's going to make you rich. That's going to make you really be lit in your own era, in your own age group. I sit back and I think about it. I'm like, damn, bro, I remember I ain't had no houses at one point, bro. Now I own houses in a couple states. You know what I'm saying? Now I manage a couple properties. Now I do that. Now I know this person. Now I know this dude. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's just a sense of relief. And it's also a sense of, okay, I got to work a little bit harder because I know other people who are doing bigger shit than me. It doesn't mean competition. It's motivation for me. But you need that type of stuff, because if you feel like where you at is perfect, that's where you fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't tell people you shouldn't strive to be more, but you should strive for your future self. You should see as far as you could take it. At least see as far as you could take it. I always tell people that. I always tell my pharmacy friends that. I'm like, open a pharmacy with each other, man. Why y'all sitting around fucking around? You make enough money to buy your own pharmacy. Partner with other 2 pharmacists. Y'all go open your shit. Fuck it if you fail the first year. You still a pharmacist. You know what I'm saying? You still a fucking pharmacist. You a doctor. Go open up your own clinic. Not everybody has that business mindset, and I understand. But it's just the acumen I like to live by. Like, own your freedom, own your time, because someone else is that person. You say, okay, he's your boss. He's trying to take as much time off. He don't want to be there. Even though he works at your same spot, even though you guys do the same shit, he doesn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? If he could own the company and they could give him an opportunity to run off and go stay in an island and never be around people who have as much riches, how many people would take that? A lot of people, which means people value their peace and independence more than what their job, their lifestyle. So it's all about comfortability for most people. People just want to make a lot of money and be comfortable. And that's possible for everybody. That's possible for me. That's possible for everybody on this podcast who's listening. But most importantly, you have to have faith that you deserve that $250,000 a year, that $500,000 a year, those millions in real estate. I deserve it because I know I am it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have yachts. You know what I'm saying? I remember, you know what? I'm not even going to say I'm going to have yachts. I already got the goddamn yachts. You know what I'm saying? The yachts, the Lambos, the cribs, the Spanish mansions that I built. You know what I'm saying? The beautiful areas that I travel, the places and cities that I have homes in. You know what I'm saying? The watch collection. You know what I'm saying? The lifestyle I created is lifestyle, bro. You know, everybody looking at me like, bro, how did you make it? I told them it's a lifestyle. Roll the billings is a lifestyle. It's a journey. We're not going to just give you the money. You got to go get it. And when you go get it, you feel like you that guy now. And I feel like I'm that guy. I've always been that guy since I was young. And people could tell you that. People could tell you can't spell money without Mo. And Mo's one of those guys who won't get to it. And I always told myself, I'm going to work hard so I could always be at my mercy. You know what I'm saying? In God's mercy. Never on no one else's mercy. Because I tell people, unwavering faith is knowing that everything's going to work out despite life. You know what I'm saying? You could be having bad grades in school right now, still be successful. You could have got fired from one job and got a better job. You know what I'm saying? God probably moved you from one friend group to the other because he heard conversations that you probably you didn't know that niggas was having about you or people was having about you. It's not because you're a bad person. It's because the environment you're in no longer suits you. So when things start getting rumbled up and moved around, don't look at it like, oh, fuck, my life's in an upheaval. Fuck, what did I do wrong? You may have did something wrong as well. I'm never going to tell you guys that because at times I look at situations like, yep, that's my karma. But then you learn from it, right? You learn not to want to do that no more, right? You learn from your mistakes, and that's the beauty about adulthood, and that's the beauty about getting older. So when I passed away, because all of us gonna pass away, people are gonna listen to this podcast, and they're gonna be like, wow, bro is really giving gems. You know what I'm saying? Or even my kids, when they grow up, they're gonna be like, Dad, you really be talking some real shit. I'm like, yeah, you know, your dad, he been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I could talk about the shit that other people may not have be able to talk about or experience because I've been through a lot. And I tell people I don't look at my past and make it my future. I look at my future and I'd be like, yeah, that was a past. You get what I'm saying? But I don't let it shape my future at all because if you let it shape your future, then you're only destined by your mistakes and your consequences and your accomplishments. And you don't want your life to be like that. You only want your life to be as smooth as an operator, meaning working towards a better of you. You know what I'm saying? If you fucked up, okay, you fucked up. Wipe your shoulders off, get back up. You know what I'm saying? You fucked up. We all fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Players fuck up all the time. But I tell people all the time, don't let that deteriorate you from accomplishing who you really want to be. You know what I'm saying? So I always put God in my episodes. I always talk about God and faith because I know without him, I would not be able to talk to you guys and have this knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a point of my life where I can have certain conversations about financial, numerical numbers and graphs and all this shit and all this blah, 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 blah. I could sound all smart if I wanted to, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I learned the basics of everything. And it grew me into the person I am now. And that gave me the knowledge and wisdom I needed to successfully continue growing into the man I need to be, growing my real estate empire, growing my connections. So I tell people all the time, man, you have to have an unwavering faith that you're going to become that person you want to become. Whatever you want to accomplish, you're going to become that person. You know what I'm saying? So when you guys see me pull up one day with the black Lambo, you know what I'm saying, with the Rolex, God damn it, on the left hand, date, just the Oyster Perpetual, not a replica. You know what I'm saying? With just a little, next to me, wife, the baddie, the mother of my kids, she's going to be next to me as well. I just want you guys to picture this lifestyle with the sunroof down. You know what I'm saying? With us living life, air blowing through our hair, air blowing through my locks, skin glowing. We on 10. We living life to the fullest. We going to the airport. We driving. We don't even need to drive ourselves. We could take a black truck. Either way, what I'm telling you guys is this. Make cheers for everything that's yet to come in your life and that has to come. Make cheers. Manifest that. Don't look eager for the things that have yet to come. Know that they're coming. You just got to sit down and just keep working on who you are as a person. You want that marriage? Work on yourself. Because when you get in that marriage, it's not going to make you no better. It's probably going to make you worse. You know what I'm saying? So become happy on your own. You know what I'm saying? Your lifestyle, my lifestyle is completely different things. But if our energies align, we become one. But that's only because you probably have successfully conquered your demons and your problems, your vices, and you manifested it into something positive. And then that aligned with my positivity. Now we attract. You know what I'm saying? But we also understand how opposite attract. So we also have problems that we deal with constantly that we all working on. No one's perfect. I don't want nobody perfect. I wish somebody could say I'm perfect. I feel so unperfect. Somebody be like they're perfect. I'm like, well, what does perfection look like? You know what I'm saying? Because if you look perfect and I don't feel perfect, then we shouldn't be together. You see the most perfect person. You know what I mean? I just don't like people who use that word perfection. Anyway, long story short, it's just a blessing to be able to give you guys these gems, letting you guys know that if you have faith, you could buy real estate, you could get that job, you could get that degree, you could have that marriage, you could have that car, you could go on that trip, and everything works out. You know what I'm saying? You could buy that house. You know what I'm saying? You could have those kids, you could have that dress, you could have whatever. But you got to understand that you got to have wavering faith, unwavering faith. Write it down somewhere. Present it in the real time, because I just told you guys I'm going to be in Monaco with the 60-foot yacht with the left hand Rolex. You know what I'm saying? We going dumb. I don't care if it takes me 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We're going to be there every summer to every year to every month to eventually living a lifestyle that we want to live. But it's gradual process. So once again, I appreciate you guys for listening to Road to Billions podcast. It's been an amazing journey. You guys take care.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.